When was the last time you sat in complete silence and didn't feel the urge to fill it? No phone, no background noise, no multitasking, just quiet. If that idea makes you a little uncomfortable, you are not alone. And today we're going to talk about why that discomfort might actually be the root of your stress in motherhood and the key to the peace you've been searching for. Welcome to Conquer Mom Stress, the podcast that helps you stress less and enjoy motherhood more. If you've ever crawled into bed at night completely exhausted, but still feel like there's so much left to do, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Jill Gokul, and I believe that motherhood is meant to feel joyful, not exhausting. Together, we'll uncover what's really fueling your stress and give you the practical tools to conquer it so you can finally feel like the confident mom you were made to be. Also, if you have a specific question or issue you're stressing about, head over to jillgokul.com/ask to submit your question. And who knows, you might just be featured in an upcoming episode so you can get practical, real-world solutions to the exact challenges you're facing. The other day, I had a rare moment alone in my house. No kids, no noise, no one asking me for snacks or help or attention. And do you know what I did? I reached for my phone within seconds. I started flipping through the apps, searching for something to do, but couldn't settle on anything because there wasn't actually anything waiting for me. I had just reached for it out of habit. With nothing else to do, I opened social media and started scrolling. Not even looking at the pictures or reading the posts, just scrolling. About 10 minutes in, I paused and thought, why do I feel like I need to fill this space? That moment hit me. When life gives you silence, we've been conditioned to avoid it. We are living in a culture of constant stimulation. Phones, social media, podcasts, TV, notifications, noise. And because of that, we've lost the ability to just be. Your brain has adapted to our culture's constant level of stimulation, and now it expects it all the time. So when things get quiet, your brain feels like something is missing, which causes you to grab your phone and seek something to fill the space. But here's what's crazy. This nonstop stimulation isn't just an issue caused by habit. It's also happening because layered on top of the habit is the fact that you've lost the skill of being still. So often, I'll find myself standing at the kitchen sink washing dishes while the kids are outside playing, and I'll make the intentional effort to embrace the silence. And do you know what happens? I am so bored. It's like my brain has forgotten how to work without being in reaction mode to stimulation. That's because silence is a skill. And like any skill, if you don't practice it, it feels awkward. Think about it. How long has it been since you've had uninterrupted quiet? Probably years. So when it shows up, it feels unfamiliar. And humans tend to avoid what feels unfamiliar, even if it's good for them. This may not seem like a big deal, but it is, because silence is good for you. Without it, your brain never fully resets. Your mind needs moments of stillness to process thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Silence is where that processing happens. Without it, stress doesn't go away. It simply stacks and stacks, building up until you find yourself snapping at your kids, crying over the small things, being constantly on edge, and feeling overstimulated at the drop of a hat. It's not that you're overreacting, it's that you're stuck in a chronic stress state with no letdown, no time to recuperate and reset your nervous system. When you fill every gap with noise or distraction, your brain stays in a semi-stimulated state all day long. That's what leads to burnout. You know, that feeling of fatigue that sleep just can't seem to shake? It causes brain fog, forgetfulness, and feeling overwhelmed with simple decisions. Your brain needs breaks throughout the day so it can release the stress that has come in. When you remove the constant input from your brain using silence, it moves from being constantly on into rest and digest mode. When an athlete works out, they know that the recovery days are just as important as the workout days because the recovery days are when muscles are built up stronger through a healing process. Silence is like a recovery day for your brain. Those small moments of quiet allow your brain and body to rest and heal back stronger, so you can regain the energy to show up fully as a mom, filled with joy, centered in peace, and primed to do life with your kids. Silence isn't just about making room for your brain and body to recover. It's also about opening up the lines of communication with God. In 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 11 through 12, it says that God doesn't come in the wind, the earthquake, or the fire. He comes in a still, small voice. When your brain is overloaded with constant stimulation, that noise drowns out the voice of God. It makes it harder to hear His guidance, feel His presence, and tap into His peace that surpasses all understanding. When you sit in silence and go to God, you are actively taking His yoke upon you instead of trying to do everything yourself. This opens your mind to God's wisdom, His clarity, His creativity. When you invite God into your day through silence, you suddenly feel the spirit of peace come upon you. His words will come into your mind with ideas, with solutions, with funny memories. It's the fastest way to shift your mindset and stop spiraling in stress. Oh my gosh, guys, I have to tell you, the other day I was driving in the country to a nearby town and was soaking in the silence. As boredom began to approach me, I thought, God, speak to me. And immediately I looked up and saw a huge billboard on the side of the road that says, "Worry ends where trust in God begins." Seriously, guys, this is a country road with almost zero billboards. And the exact moment I asked God to speak to me, that's what I see. I couldn't believe it. But that's what happens when you embrace silence. God's still small voice can finally be heard. He's there all along, but noise and distraction blocks us from hearing Him or seeing His message. Psalms chapter 46, verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness isn't optional for a peaceful life. It's how you hear God, how you know Him, and how you lean on Him. It's time to say goodbye to that constant state of overwhelm, where your thoughts feel scattered and you're emotionally reactive because your brain never got silence to process, regulate, or restore. Remember, peace, clarity, creativity, and connection all require space. And right now, there is no space. But here's the good news. Silence is something you can embrace. It's a skill that you can relearn. You don't have to be stuck in this cycle of burnout. And that peace you've been chasing, it's hiding in the space you've been avoiding. So start seeking it. Seek silence in your life. Jesus Himself modeled this. In Luke chapter 5, verse 16, it says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Not once, not occasionally, often. Even with everything He was called to do, He made space for silence because He knew you cannot pour from a soul that never rests. This doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be time-consuming. It just has to be intentional. Here are 3 practical steps to help you become comfortable with silence again so you can allow your brain to have the reset it needs. First, notice the silence. How many times do you grab your phone without thinking to scroll and zone out? It's unintentional, but it's also unhelpful. It's doing the exact opposite of the goal you're seeking. You want to zone out, to take a break from the chaos around you, but you're filling it with more chaos. What you really need is a break from sensory input, a break from stimulation and information overload. The next time you reach for your phone out of habit, pause and ask yourself, do I actually need this right now? If the answer is no, put it down. That tiny moment of awareness breaks the habit cycle. You can't stop a habit you don't notice, so start paying attention to the times silence enters your day and you seek something to fill it. As you notice these moments of silence, move on to step 2, where you sit in the silence. This is where you get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because humans naturally avoid things that are uncomfortable. And you're uncomfortable with things that are unfamiliar to you. This is why a bad habit is so hard to break, because your brain thrives on the familiar, even if it's bad for you. It still worked to keep you alive. Your subconscious is wired to keep you alive, so it wants to continually return to the familiar, the comfortable, because it feels safe. So the trick is to expose your brain to the unfamiliar by gently showing it that silence is safe. When you notice yourself filling the silence with distraction, put the distraction away and sit in the silence while you go about your day. Don't overcomplicate this. Continue your tasks or simply sit on the couch and allow the silence. No phone, no noise, just breathe. It might feel uncomfortable at first, and that's okay. That discomfort is your brain detoxing from constant input and realizing that it's safe in silence. The more often you expose yourself to silence, the more quickly you'll become comfortable with it. And once you're comfortable, it's time to embrace the silence. Do you remember how silence is a skill? Well, this step is where you build that skill. Learn how to use silence for your benefit. Let your mind wander, dream, imagine, ask. When you were a kid, your imagination would run wild for fun. Tap into that creativity again. It's so common for moms to get stuck in work mode where you're always on, always problem solving, managing tasks, finagling schedules. That can suck the joy right out of you because work mode is full of pressure, demands, and stress. But creativity, it's your fun mode. It pulls you into a light, expansive state where you can breathe again because the pressure is gone. You're not trying to put fires out. You're not trying to plan for the worst. You are imagining the best. Creativity is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. Pope Francis reminded the world to imitate the creativity and simplicity of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit drives away fear and stress and replaces it with creativity and simplicity. This is why unexpected doors will open for you, or why you will have a great idea while taking a shower. Silence is where God can become the author of your story, but you have to embrace the silence to actually hear him. Take a note from my own experience. And when you're sitting in silence with no creative juices, simply say, "Lord, I'm here. Speak to my heart." When you ask, he'll answer. Whether it's on a billboard, a quiet thought that pops up in your mind, or a sense of inner peace that warms your heart. Listen, mom life is loud. It's unpredictable. It's full of demands. But peace isn't found in the noise. It's not found scrolling on your phone or filling your mind with more distractions. It's found in anchoring yourself in God. And silence is where that anchoring happens. When you choose stillness, you step out of the chaos and into truth. Imagine this. Instead of grabbing your phone the second things get quiet, you sit, you breathe, you feel your shoulders drop, your thoughts slow down, and for the first time in a long time, you feel present, not rushed, not overwhelmed, not behind, just at peace. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Conquer Mom Stress. If today's conversation encouraged you, hit follow and leave a review. That lets me know that these episodes are hitting the topics you need. And while you're there, share this podcast with another mom who might need to hear it. Your thoughtfulness might just be what she needs to get through the day. Remember, this is your place to pause, rest, and start conquering mom stress, one small step at a time. Motherhood isn't meant to drain the life out of you. It's meant to be lived with joy, even on the messy days. And together, we're going to find that joy again.